Moscow qualifiers for the EU-CIS region, whatever you want to call it. Either way, we have Effect going up against Vega Squadron, and now we have some blood on the line because this is going to be a lower bracket. Best of 3, winner moves on, and the loser, obviously, you're out of here. So it is worth noting that Vega literally just finished losing up against Na'Vi, and I didn't watch all the games, but it looked like, and judging by the schedule delays, it probably was a very long best of 3 with like a 1-minute break. So Vega may be a little bit wiped right now. And Effect obviously are fairly fresh, but Vega are full of vets. We'll see if they're able to put something together regardless of that fact. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for this best of 3. And yeah, we'll see who is able to push on through to the next phase. I believe their opponent, Singularity, is going to be their next opponent. So it's not really going to get that much easier here for either of these two teams. But either way, Crystal Maiden and Earthshaker, definitely an interesting opening. Haven't really seen a lot of support Earthshaker. Don't really think that's really what you want to be doing, especially when there are so many better options for that role, like just a Tusk, and Vega Squadron love their Tusks. Yoma is a killer on that one. So yeah, most likely going to be an offlane Shaker until Legion Commander gets picked up. Maybe not. We are going to have a support duo, Crystal Maiden Shaker. Now, it is worth noting that Crystal Maiden Shaker, as a duo, is a lot stronger than either of those two heroes individually. Shaker support, kind of but Shaker support with the extra mana, with the extra setup for the Crystal Maiden, you can get yourself a lot of things done here. In fact, in the meantime, Lycan now with the Magnus combo, they have a lot of team fight. Warlock and Magnus opening is going to do that for you. Deciding to go for a Lycan is a little bit strange. I mean, you're going up against a lot of stuns and disables on the Vega Squadron side. Now a Troll Warlord for Vega means that if you're actually going to be looking to chase people down, it's not really going to be easy to find a target, let alone stick on them, and then let alone kill them. So it is kind of tough there for Effect. Though with the Magnus and Warlock Rock, at least the idea is, well, you don't really have to chase after your opposition since they're all going to be stunned by this giant AoE ultimate that we have. Now, Lycan definitely a hero that can make use of that Magnus cleave, as can the Ember Spirit now picked up by Effect. This draft is, damn, zooming by. But, you know, Lycan really doesn't want to be farming all that much. You would prefer to be playing a little bit more so on the aggressive side as Lycan. Late game's not bad, but Troll Warlord and Legion Commander, especially the two of them together, again, synergies between all these heroes from Vega Squadron will make going late game for Effect kind of a challenge. Now, they do have the team fight to back it up. They have the split push as well. It is kind of Effect angling for that late game. Despite Lycan not really being the most comfortable in that role, they should still have a little bit of an advantage there, just because Magnus Warlock is so much more influential in the late game than Shaker Crystal Maiden. And of course, the Effect still looking for their supporting hero. Legion Commander, Troll Warlord, very single target focus, whereas Effect kind of taking the more AoE kind of take on their draft.
10 seconds remaining.
So for Vega, they are with a building hitter right now. They should just be looking for a little bit of an aggressive mid lane hero for G. Matchup-wise, you know you're going up against an Ember Spirit, and those matchups typically tend to be pretty favorable for the Vega Squadron side. G loves his Quap. I wouldn't be super surprised to see that hero here. In fact, don't really have the most to lock her down. Puck is also not the worst hero in the world. Really good up against that Lycan. OD banned out. TA. They could also just go Lina. I mean, nowadays it's like, oh, well, we're looking for a mid lane hero. Let's bust our brain a little bit. Oh, wait, no, there's Lina. We don't have to think. We can just pick the Lina. The Vega Squadron should be looking for one of those aggressive, snowball-y type mid laners. Most of those here, actually all those mid laners, have good matchups up against the Ember Spirit. And for Effect, Ricky banned out. They're going to grab the Tusk themselves. I was going to say, the pool of roamers not really that deep. We're seeing a lot of teams now shy away from the Earth Spirit. Although I do still think he's viable. It has to be like a super comfort zone pick. Like if you are not comfortable on Tusk, but you know you can play an Earth Spirit, yeah, then you're going to go ahead and play Earth Spirit. But if you could play both of them equally, nowadays you kind of want to go for something else, i.e. the Tusk Pacekeeper for the Effect side. Makes the Ember Spirit lane a lot easier. And of course that synergy defensively versus the Legion Commander is certainly something. Vega Squadron, their supports are really slow, really clunky in the Earthshaker Crystal Maiden, so locking them out with shards, hit them with Snowball, very, very easy to do. Tusk, even if Effect didn't already have their entire draft, if it was Warlock Tusk opening, he'll be in a really good spot up against the Vega Squadron heroes. Well, Vega Squadron, what are they going to settle on? Tusk shouldn't really change the mid lane all that much. It is going to be a Storm for them. They were lacking a little bit of initiation. In Effect, don't really have the most, again, in the way of hard lockdown. Ember Spirit chains, Tusk has a little bit. If they want to burn some of those big ultimates, yeah, they will be able to kill off a Storm Spirit. It should remain elusive and is just looking to start those fights for the Vega Squadron side. Again, the game plan for Vega Squadron, jump in, Storm Legion, pop the Battle Trance, kill off hopefully someone like an Ember Spirit or a Magnus, and then hopefully for them, in Effect, just don't want to fight from there on out. Again, it's the pick-off game for Vega Squadron, and for Effect, it's going to be the pacekeeping by the Tusk, but more so angling towards late. But even then, now with the Storm Spirit, Troll, Legion as the 3 cores from Vega Squadron, their late game is pretty substantial. Maybe the Magnus farm increase on the Lycan and the Ember Spirit may just be a little bit stronger, and the team fight for sure for Effect is something that Vega Squadron have to out-initiate. But yeah, it is looking like both sides have a relatively even draft. Effect may have a little bit of difficulty starting fights in the later stages of the game, but with all their big teamfight ultimates and saves, especially on the Tusk, you would expect that any initiation performed by the Vega Squadron should at least have some sort of response from the Effect side. It's not like they're completely helpless here. Plus you have Storm Spirit, Crystal Maiden. Oh baby, the mana value. You want to talk about value, guys. Storm and CM. That is value right there. Match made in heaven. Is this still bugged? Come on, Volvo. I think is the game still broken? I know lots of people are having trouble with, like, Sven in particular. Hopefully, none of these picked up heroes are problem heroes, because if we have to deal with crashes, I'm out, guys. You're on your own. How? Okay, everyone. I'm like, how do they have a net worth advantage already? There's smoke really, really quickly popped on Effect. Like, we didn't even get into the game and they're already popping the smoke. But either way, this is going to be best of 3. Again, winner moves on to face Singularity. Got Vega Squadron on the Radiant side. Afterlife going to be playing that Legion Commander, Sioma the Slayer. On the Earthshaker, we got G on his Storm Spirit, the real you, the real me. On the Troll Warlord, Silent is on the Crystal Maiden. On the other end, Arzeek, the Warlock. Got Seedoy playing the Lycan. Roger is on his Tusk. Affinage playing the Ember Spirit, and that leaves Shotchlow on the Magnus. And oh good, it gets to be one of those games where we pause a lot. And we can't really blame Vega again. If they're just like disconnecting here just because they want a break, I don't blame them, man. They just played a really long best of 3. But I would rather watch a game right now. Interesting to see if how good Roger's Tusk is. Haven't seen him play in quite a while. I don't think I've seen him play under the Effect banner. I mean, all these names in the game, you should by now be quite familiar with. The real you, perhaps the least noteworthy name, but still an extremely solid player. So you know, noteworthy or not, definitely going to make a name for himself here. It is also worth noting that Arzeek used to play on Vega, like way back in the day. Like way back in the day. It was like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. He used to be on Vega. No one knows that anymore, right? Because that was when Vega kind of sucked. They were in kind of in obscurity, playing all these tier 2 tournaments. That was my jam back in the day too. And it's been a while, and he's been away from Vega for quite a long time. I don't think anyone else has been on Vega here. Probably not. Getting some weird echoey sounds. Hey, this pause is gonna let me figure out what the hell is going on with that weird echoey sound. Oh well. Hey, if you guys don't complain about it, then it's fine, right? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm actually going crazy. But hey, we're going to be fine right now, Roger. Observer ward planted will not see the Shaker, nor will this observer ward see Roger, so vision wards certainly slacking in this game. And Roger has some big plans in the future, guys. You know, this guy, he likes his movement speed. He really does want to have mobility. He already does have the boots, and he will be actually really poorly surrounded here. Roger is going to get walled off perfectly by it. No, what? How did he slip through there? There is no conceivable way in the world that that's not a tight wall. That, I would be pretty upset if I was Sioma. Like, come on, the Fissure was like, what? A tight wall there means that Afterlife is just able to beat down on the Tusk. As long as Shaker doesn't show his face over here, then the Tusk doesn't have a snowball option out. Maybe you can glitch yourself out with the shards. That's definitely something we've seen before. But that would have been so much extra damage, potentially a kill on the Tusk if Fissure behaved. Either way, really deep observer wards being placed by the Tusk. Now you expect some of these observer wards to be up. You don't expect these, and they are looking to, as best they can, sit on this mid lane. Get those shards flying out, and whoa, wait, okay, he's just blocking. Like, is Afterlife really gonna go for mid now? Unfortunately, that would have been pretty sick. Yeah, but Storm Spirit is definitely, wait a minute, hold on a second. Boots for Shaker. Afterlife is going to go up there. It's going to be a dual lane up towards top instead. Shoshalo in the meantime, going to run to Silent, but he will take a little bit of damage here. He does have the ability to skewer out, of course, if needed. Silent, going to go with the creep wave, try to make it forget about Shoshalo, but Shoshalo's not going to make that happen. Let's see how much damage Silent can actually do here. Another Frostbite, and the damage is certainly adding up. Turn around for the Shockwave, cancel the Clarity, and he may have to Shrine here, but guarantees himself at least that first creep wave. And now the real you also has to deal with this kind of a mess of a situation over in his lane. Roger now mixing in with the shards. Here comes Sioma. Fissure, is that going to behave? That's not a tight wall, is it? Either way, Sioma and Roger are going to get into a little bit of a fist fight. Man, this roam game is actually going to be pretty intense. Now, Silent does not want to deal with that, not one bit. He wants to go to the jungle. He doesn't want anyone to mess with him. Oh, did you see that? He tried to clip Sioma with those shards. I don't know what the hell's up with ice shards, guys. Sometimes it works logically, sometimes it just glitches the hell out. And that was a very nice attempt from Roger. I like that. It didn't work, but it's the thought that counts, right? If you can cliff a Shaker, like, he's not exactly super wealthy. There's no flying courier. It's gonna be really hard to get down. Either way, outside of these supports, let's take a look at how these standing lanes are gonna be. Afterlife going up against Seedoy. This is a pretty nice lane for the Legion Commander. Although there is the heal from the Warlock, the poke damage as well, you'd expect the Legion to be able to, at the very least, get some experience in lane. He's actually trading hits pretty darn well with Seedoy and Arzeek both on this top lane, although getting kind of unlucky with those passive procs. Over towards mid, Storm Spirit should have a slight edge over Ember, but with the threat of that roaming Tusk, who is, by the way, again, fighting Sioma, Afinin should be fine to at least not die, maybe set up for kill on G if G's a little bit kind of careless with the positioning. Who knows, anything is possible. You can see Afterlife is prepping for this lane in particular. Moment of Courage, usually we don't see picked up at a super high level. And granted, the press the attack doesn't really do a ton defensively outside of that regen component. You're not getting rid of any significant slow or anything like that. But you know that you're going to be in for a brawl, and oh, the first Curse Snipe happened by Silent in the double damage rune, but in revenge, they're going to try to go for the mid lane. G will get chained down, very low level. Now here comes Sioma, is going to wall off the Ember Spirit, and then try to get in there with the body blocks. G does not have any mana to cast anything. A single additional proc of Overload may have made the difference there, but 10 mana short feels bad, man. Either way, Silent sneaks in, despite not having any vision in this area, and is able to snag a courier. And this Observer Ward, so far doing a whole lot of nothing. It's not an Observer Ward we very frequently see. If you're going to look to put pressure over in the mid lane, just there's no reason not to slap an Observer Ward right down here. And then really try to get a beat on the Storm Spirit's courier. This bottom lane, the real you obviously is having a great time. Not much Magnus can do to stop a Troll Warlord here. And it is going to be just this like classic roaming Earthshaker. Shards and chains will do very little actually to G. The positioning of the shards where they ended is not perfect, and Fissure will wall off Affinage once again. G, he does have a little bit more overload this time. Extra damage value, but they're just looking to put the screws to the Ember as much as they possibly can because of that courier snipe. They know that any mana they spend to hurt him right now is mana that they can regenerate, but the Ember Spirit cannot regenerate his health nearly as easily. There's just value damage trades here. Man, I did not expect that this patch would be roaming Earthshaker, roaming Tusk. Like, did anyone see that coming? I certainly didn't. Sioma's, by the way, is kind of getting his ass kicked right now. Howl is there. He does have some help here from Silent. Sioma now trying to bait. Although the Fissure is going to be dodged by the Snowball. Boots on the Tusk, 345. I think he's just slow enough. 355 shards. Oh, it glitches him out. That's what I was talking about. And Roger's like, F this shit. Well, he's going to stand still. Shoshlo is going to back him up. Yo, that stand still move from Roger, just like, are you kidding me? Did that seriously just happen? Shards, why are you so buggy? And Sioma is gonna get away. He really shouldn't have gotten away there. Like, that really should have been a kill. But hey man, you pick up Tusk. You look to glitch the shards to Cliff. You use the bug to your advantage. Sometimes the bug is gonna say no. No, I'm gonna behave in a way that you don't expect. What an odd skill, man. What an odd hero. Why is this hero in Dota? Come on. Storm Spirit's starting to grow that lead. Any aggressive play made by the effect side has so far done very little. And of course the Ember Spirit with no bottle for a vast majority of this laning phase. Not able to really aggressively pressure G. Usually you would expect a couple chains to be thrown out for damage value. Put up the shield, see what damage you can get off, but that hasn't been happening. Of course top lane, Afterlife getting into a little bit of a fight here. Upheaval is there. Fissure gonna get him a little bit of time. But he's stuck in the jungle. Even with phase boots, Snowball's gonna track him down and he'll be rolled over. First blood. First blood, really? There's been no kills this game? Drawn by Roger. It feels like there's been like 20 kills. But either way, first blood is what matters. What? How is that not a tight wall? What? Well, either way, it's gonna be Sioma still granting himself that bounty rune, so it's all good, man. Roger is gonna look to join up with Appanage, looking for Sioma. Fissure is here, and Fissure's not glitchy, so he's stuck now, but the Fissure actually will wall them in. The tree gets chopped and they will get in. RZ going to arrive, and Shaker will fall, giving effect the second kill. In the meantime, Real U actually gonna leave the lane to jungle a little bit. Expect Silent to shuffle in there usually, but Silent still only level 3 on the CM. It's been roaming around a little bit more than CMs would really like. And is just looking for that level 4 mark. Level 2 in that aura. Definitely gonna make things a lot easier for G. Speaking of G and Easy, they're gonna look for the level 5 Ember Spirit. No creeps. Or a creep might die here. Oh, he's still gonna get the chains off. Battle Trance once again will be used in G. Already used the Soul Ring to get in, so obviously can't use the Soul Ring to get in again. Unfortunately, not gonna get the kill on the Ember Spirit, but a creep was dying there, so he did get level 6 off of that, so he probably wasn't gonna go down either way. Oh, jeez. That sucks if you're Roger. The one hit you land is gonna be proper one of courage. Can he get any more? Seems like no, but I think they should. Oh no, wall off by the shards. Roger, oh, misclicks, and so does Afterlife. What just happened? Roger's gonna try and juke up to the trees and dodge the overwhelming odds. Still lands. The Shadow Word is gonna heal him. So Roger did not mean to move like that, and then Afterlife also didn't mean to move in such a way to follow him there. Afterlife now gonna get chased down. Tower is here. He does not have the ability to purge these chains. Gets a lucky lifesteal proc, but Affinage rotating up towards top, and it will be Afterlife to fall. Again, what are you doing there, Roger? Just throwing shards because? Whatever you say, man. Whatever you say. Yeah, that was a definite misclick there by Tusk. That was kind of unpunished because Afterlife was like, you know, there's no way he actually dies here. I'm just gonna give up. What an absolute mess of a game. Someone should really clean this game up. Shastro's also in this game, by the way. Like, we haven't really seen that much from the Magnus. Level 2 on the Empowered, level 7 overall with Arcane Boots already. A tough matchup versus the Troll for sure, but Troll mostly by himself. In fact, has been by himself like the entire laning phase. has been, you know, not really able to pressure out a Magnus to keep him out of experience range. And as Magnus, if you get just a couple of CS with Shockwave, then you'll be just fine. Fissure, Roger's gonna take a lot of damage here. Vega, this is really like we've seen it time and time again so far. It's like they're able to do a lot of damage, but actually getting finishing blows requires a Blink Dagger on a Legion or a Storm Spirit to arrive. Here comes the Ember Spirit, gonna look for the real you. Fissure going to help him a little bit, but Ember Spirit's gonna jump over it, as will everyone else with the snowball. What Fissure, man? We're just gonna roll right over it. Real you punished. And this is going to be Vega, kind of making these aggressive plays with only a skeleton crew. In effect, more than happy to jump in with all these heroes, getting this Ember Spirit catapulted back into his game state, getting this Warlock quite a bit of experience as well. He hasn't really had a time to be in lane, Arzik, as in just by himself, but just with roaming around all the time, 4 assists to his name, handful of creeps here and there, and hey, it's going to be a very fast level 6. Then at that point, Effect can really put the screws to the Vega side. It is kind of bold that we see Vega making these moves in the first place. Like, you know that there's going to be rotations from the Effect side. You know that the Tusk is probably going to be holding a TP scroll.
This will do nicely.
Yet you decide to go for it anyway. Shaker's going to try to get his level 6 on the bottom lane. CM still level 5. Vega, they aren't really ready to, you know, make any sort of huge plays happen right now. That'll happen once the Legion gets that Blink Dagger. But Effect with this Warlock Rock are kind of happy to go for it. G and Affinage are gonna play around a little bit. Affinage is just baiting right now. Wants G to overcommit because he knows that there's a lot of backup in the area, and G take no chances. We'll get the hell out of there. Bottom lane in the meantime, Shotchlo hit with the Fissure. Battle Trance active. Whirling Axe is low level, but can he juke himself out of here? He has a Skewer, but it's only level 1. And he's frozen, and he's dead. Nice try, Shotchlo. Not going to happen today. Vega Squadron get on the board. And Affinage actually taking a lot of damage here. Some of Flame Guard just have jumps out, so G's not going to pull the trigger. Cedo in the meantime, Mask of Madness picked up on the Lycan. Wants to do that damage. It is also a great tool. We're going to be tearing down towers. Actually gone for no wolves, just a whole bunch of passives. Micro is apparently not in Cedoy's vocabulary right now. Affinage trying to bait, and he'll jump out straight to the neutrals and will die, but will set up a trap so that G will fall shortly after. In the meantime, our Afterlife will get a kill up towards top lane without using duel. I'm not really sure how that happened, but either way, a kill's a kill.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And that was
Dire's bottom tower.
yeah, I like the play there from Effect. I like the idea. Have the Ember Spirit bait in a lot so that the Lycan can come in. But hey, at least he didn't run into any enemy heroes, just ran into some neutrals. Not the end of the world for sure. They're able to take down the Storm Spirit, and a pretty big kill for the Effect side. That solo kill on the Legion Commander just as big. We see level 10 on the Legion. No dual damage just yet, which is a little bit unfortunate. But only 100 gold towards that Blink Dagger. And that should set Vega off on the aggressive path. And they're actually going to go in a little bit earlier than that. Double damage rune on the Troll Warlord. Fissure is great, but they all get trapped in the shards. Now the Golem is in there. It's a party in the shard. That's not where you want to be if you're on the Vega Squadron side. They're all going to get beaten down. Storm Spirit going to arrive looking for Arzik, but an RP is going to stop him cold, and that should also kill off G. Afterlife will come in, snipe him, but Cedoy is on his tail. Shards will fly and will catch him. This should be a full 5-man wipe. Probably. Afterlife is going to try to get away, but the snowball is there. Everyone's going to jump in. It's a party. And that's going to be Effect winning that by 3-10. That is the circle of doom right there. Fissure, and then shards, and then unhappiness. That's the unhappy circle right there. That's what happens when you run into the enemies before you're really prepared as Vega. We're going to freeze the Tusk. He does still have a snowball here. I'm not really sure how he gets out of this, though. Yeah, he's going to get hit with a stun and will drop. Tower will take a little bit of damage. But, okay, the Warlock just forgot about his Golem, apparently. For sure, the move there from Vega was a good one. if the effect side weren't also, you know, if they didn't also happen to be in this area, if they're actually able to fan out a little bit, you know, get some heroes spread out, then yeah, they probably would have been able to avoid that catastrophe. But 3 heroes grouped up in a small circle like that, the easiest play of Effect's life is like, oh, there's 2 heroes, I'll just go kill them. They're just gonna get skewered out of the duel. That will save the Warlock from giving over any duel damage. Now the Snowball will help them initiate onto the Crystal Maiden. Shards will do nothing. How is that not a tight wall? I don't know. Seedoy still wants in. Jeez, that one hit onto Sioma. And a couple more hits. Shockwave is actually gonna miss, but it doesn't matter. The dog is angry. He's empowered. He's berserked. Roger Shards out will miss. And Effect are just starting to run over Vega. Jump in, looking for Seedoy. Jeez. Waste a lot of mana doing that. He did no damage there. Now we'll run into a big old Walrus Punch. He has a little more mana to get out of there. Chains onto the Troll Warlord. Skewered back into literally the entire Effect team, but a huge overwhelming odds will turn the tables a little bit. They'll still snowball in towards the real you. Troll refusing to die, and now Roger will fall along with the Ember, and now it's going back the other way. Nova onto Arzeek, and Seedoy jump in, duel. The glove has been cast. Fissure will hit Seedoy as well as win the duel. Looking for Seedoy. They are also looking for Shoch, though. He has a blink, and he will actually dodge the CM right click with it. As Vega are able to use this Troll Warlord to pretty effective bait. He is a level 12 hero. And Troll Warlords are kind of notoriously tricky to kill off. Not because they're particularly tanky, but it's because they're deceptively tanky. It's like, oh yeah, it's a small agility hero. We can take him. Got a lot of armor, guys. He's got 21 armor. If you're not bursting him down with magic, and well, what magic damage do they really have, it will take a long time to actually kill this hero off. Vega are able to turn things around. But that was, of course, in the context of Effect not having that Warlock ultimate. Now, Warlock does have it now. That additional chain stun may just mean the difference. Arzeek sees a couple heroes just going to keep the team in the area. There's a medallion. A little bit of minus armor action here. Plus, very, very damage, gold cost effective. Yeah, I'm just like shouting out buzzwords. That didn't mean anything. Very cost effective item build from Seedoy here. Armlet Mask of Madness, about as cost effective as you could possibly get. Walrus Punch legitimately took out half of Silent's HP pool. And a couple more right clicks. Jump in from G. Oh, the Vortex gonna be canceled though because of the Snowball. And now the duel is in. Arzeek though does have the Rock. Shocho kind of whipped his ultimate. And the duel will still be won, but at what cost? They'll lose 3 heroes, including the Storm Spirit. Now looking at Sioma. Fissure not going to stop Shoch though, although he will still take a little bit of damage here. Sioma is going to try to hide in his shrine. Affinage burn damage should just slowly but surely take him down. Echo Slam will do quite a bit of damage, but nowhere near enough. In the meantime, there was a Lycan doing Lycan things over in the Roche pit. He was able to take down the big guy, take the Aegis, and ultimately for Effect, another big win for them. There's a little bit of a panicky RP there from Magnus. The Legion didn't... Legion actually won that. I'm very surprised she was actually able to do that. And normally when you... Whoa, real you. What the what?
This'll come in handy.
Oh, he was on bottom lane and pushing apparently. My bad for missing. He got a lot of tower damage, but losing his life, not worth. Yeah, usually when you drop the rock on top of a duel, it just stops. The RP and rock was not coordinated at all. A little bit of a panicky play there from Effect. And it'll still be the Legion Commander to win that duel, but G at this point, not with Bloodstone, is not really snowballing ahead as he would really like. Really is not that much of a threat to Effect. Like, again, they don't really have that much in order to deal with the Storm Spirit. But Storm Spirit isn't really a hero that they have to deal with. They are starting to pull a little bit ahead here. The Lycan has been running around untouched. The BKB will look to further that. Now there is Bash on the Troll Warlord. When he's in melee, there is the duel from the Legion Commander, which I'm not really sure if you want to use as a form of crowd control up against a Lycan with this much damage. Seems like a pretty bad idea, because he will just kill you in like 4 hits. I actually think Seedoi can do that right now. Because the Legion has a good amount of health, but no real like defensive itemization here. And Lycan has like a purely offensive itemization with Empower level 4. It's going to have to require a little bit of critical luck, maybe. Maybe. But like, yeah, Seedoi is actually able to do that much damage. This is looking troublesome for Vega. I can't help but feel that this game, if Vega did not just play a best of 3 that went the distance, would be looking a lot different. It does seem like Vega are playing a little bit sloppy. Like, the calls are fine, it seems, but just the positioning and the way that they make those fights start, the way that they're not respecting this Warlock Rock, it does seem like Vega are a little bit off right now, which is unfortunate.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Start chipping at the top tier 1. Effect, no real pressure in the other lanes. They'll shove him in as best they can. Seedoi is actually closing in to a spot where he can start making some pressure happen. This is a really good move from Vega. Up against this double life from Lycan, ultimate from Warlock. In just a minute, we'll be back. There's no real chance for Vega to take a fight there. If they try, they will just die. Split pushing right now, getting themselves kind of out a head start in the split pushing race. Really nice up towards top. Still so far a 1-for-1 trade. And the TPs are coming back. Lycan will zap himself on his return. But he's fine. He's got a double life. He actually really wants Vega to initiate on him. Although he knows that they won't. The rest of the effect heroes smoking in. Coming in from the south, and they will run into the real U. Just picks up his Sanj component, so a little bit tankier now. Do they have enough damage here? They'll chain him down with the Veil, and they have a lot of remnants, but he gets them all purged off. Snowball is there. They're going to jump in again towards the Legion, towards the Troll Warlord rather, and it'll be pretty high damage, but not quite enough, especially when Silent lands the huge freezing field. Where's the freaking Lycan and Warlock? Where are they? But everyone from Vega was there, and effect, they dropped the RP. They once again were kind of debated by this Troll Warlord. And effect perhaps didn't expect him to be here. Lycan did TP up towards top, so obviously wasn't able to instantly get down over in bot. Or I guess in mid. But yeah, for effect, that was a sloppy play. Fortunately for them, they still have the Warlock Rock. But they feed over 3 free ones over to Vega. Dual damage, I think, was actually not gotten there from Afterlife. That's unfortunate. Seedoi. Oh, he has some targets right around the corner. Doesn't see them. Now he will. Here comes Affinage. They're going to leash him down so that the dog can let loose. Legit 2-shot. Get wrecked. Yeah, I mean, I think Seedoi does a little bit of damage. A little bit. It's above average. I haven't seen him use Wolves a single time. Like, he's been at full mana the entire game. Does Seedoi know what this does? Hey, there we go. We have Wolves in the game. And they'll tear down this tower. Afterlife gonna show up just for a little bit of distraction. Bottom lane, split push. We'll get Vega an even tower trade, probably. Roger, just looking to mess with the real U. Stop a TP. That's his goal right now. And unfortunately, he's not going to get it to happen. Still over towards top lane. The Lycan, his ultimate has worn down, but the Warlock is still ready to go. Magnus ready to go soon as well. Creep Wave is dead in mid, being split pushed by G. There is no Tusk in this fight. This is going to be a little bit of a tough sell for effect if they really just want to straight push this tower. Now, of course, they do want to use this Aegis. But straight pushing like this, very, very feasible for Vega to double kill this Lycan. Unless Sioma gets skewered out. Where's the skewer? Here it comes. Straight into the clutches of the big bad wolf. Rip Sioma. One more shot. Oh, juke in the trees. Run, Sioma, run. Actually surviving for a really long time. There's no way getting out of there. But, yeah, it is going to be wasting time so that Aegis can be reclaimed. Still split push over in mid and in bottom. The push from Effect is slow going. But now that they're actually on this tower, Ripperino, it's not going to last long. And it will be a 2-for-1 tower trade. Effect also getting that Earthshaker kill on top of it. BKB now up on the Lycan, and Effect, they can, if they want to, hit the brakes right now. And I'm not really sure if they would want to, although they are picking up a hand of Midas on the Magnus. That is an argument for hitting the brakes. They're still ready to go. Speaking of ready to go, duel on the bottom lane. G's gonna zip in. Half an inch, dead in an instant, although the reinforcements are coming in. It's only our Zeke, actually, who's actually here. Sidoi is going to take a lot of time shapeshifting. They do land the rock onto 2 heroes, but our Zeke is actually surviving a little while longer. G's not doing enough damage to kill off this Warlock through the Shadow Word. Missing a couple shots as well. Will end up costing on the Troll Warlord. Sidoi with the BKB is going to waste a lot of time in that item, but we'll find the CM is going to grant mercy. What a good guy, that Sidoi. Looking for Sioma instead. Does have a Blink Dagger. No one to cut this Earthshaker off, and Sidoi will not get that much. It's going to be a 2-for-1 after all said and done. A little bit of a, again, a sloppy play there from the Effect side. Now, losing the Ember Spirit to a duel, that's whatever, man. It's going to happen. But trickling in afterwards, trying to make a return play, that is not really what you want to have. Now, if they were all there, that would have been much different. That Warlock rock from the Warlock. It stunned a lot of heroes, but there was no real follow-up. And now towards the top lane, again, they're going to sit on this Ember Spirit. Again, Effect kind of trickling in here. A little bit closer to each other than last time, but with no Warlock ultimate. We'll still look to move in. Silent, teleporting out, he's fine. G is still up here. Scan is available here for the Dire, although they do just have a dog here on G. G is going to get snowballed. Ball Lightning will not save him from that. Here comes the RP as well as the damage from Sidoi. Poor Spirit aspects, all going to die. And in 10 seconds, they'll all be up again. Nice kill for the Effect side. After a nice kill for the Vega side, ultimately, I guess we can call that a wash. Although G is starting to pick up momentum. Bloodstone charges into that Orchid buildup. And oh no, not again! Okay, he's gonna back off. Yeah, Afterlife had to wait a little while for those chains to dissipate. Otherwise, he would just be going alone with no help. Oh, Roger is gonna find Sioma, who already blinked, and look at the damage just from Roger. Yeah, that is some serious Walrus punching right there. Sidoi, the dog, chasing after Storm Spirit, who legitimately just respawned. At least he'll get out of here. Does take his entire mana pool, but hey, he's alive. That is shapeshift down. Oh man, I'm really scared for this Ember Spirit, man. His game has pretty much stopped. He's constantly getting picked off by this Legion Commander. Not the most dual damage in the world, but still a decent amount of farm, all things considered. Got the Blade Mail. You don't really need all that much else on the Legion. Roger just looking to set up for a tier 2 play. Gets scanned. I should know exactly what's happening right now, Vega. Uh-oh, never mind. Why? They literally scanned him. Then he teleports in like that? They know that there's someone here, so they decide to go here. I mean, that's... like, really? Okay. Well, Sioma's gonna sacrifice himself to the Effect gods. Afterlife will get out of the bottom lane, and still everyone's just kind of split pushing these structures. We're gonna see the Lycan start to finally use his wolves, using them primarily to scout, and I don't mind that one bit. You know that Vega are mostly on the split push idea. If you're able to see them when they juke into the trees to teleport out, and if you're able to cancel that TP, that's already a big win. Kill him, of course, that's even better. The bottom lane is going to be shoved in. Afterlife wants G in the area to help out, but G's all the way in base. Sidoi is going to find himself in front of a tower. And this tower is not going to last long at all. Nor will top lane, the real U, pretty much already destroyed the tower earlier.
Radiant's
And
bottom
laying that finishing blow now. Even tower trade once again.
Radiant's
Sioma
bottom tower has fallen.
does have backup in G, but for Vega, they're way too spread out. Both sides are really way too spread out to make a fight happen. Roger, he is going to find Silent. And with the frozen sigil overhead, keep vision, but the real you is here. And Silent, well, he get jumped on by the Ember Spirit. There goes the CM. Poor CM, but the duel's still gonna land. Do they have enough damage? I'm sure they do. The real you just gonna lay into that Ember Spirit. Over in the jungle, though, G is dying. With the Warlock Rock, they'll also take down the Shaker. I always choose the wrong fights to watch. God damn it, guys. Afterlife is gonna get punched by Roger, just looking for Shadow Blade value. Probably should have reconsidered, because Afterlife is gonna stick on him. He has no overwhelming odds for another 8 seconds. There's TP support coming. Shard's not gonna do much. Snowball will kill him. Blade Mail is still alive. Into the Shadow Blade he'll go. Afterlife will blind. Throw out the overwhelming odds. Will not work. Shoto's gonna TP with no mana, actually. That's awkward. But still, across the map, it is a win for effect. Maybe a little bit more of a win. Real you and Seedoy. Even though he has
Radiant's middle tower
a little
is
bit
under
more
attack.
farm like in with the bash component, I'm pretty sure the real you wins this duel. Here we go, the battle of the century. Seedoy is going to try to run away, and with the bash he is going to win, if not for the help from Roger. Walrus Punch is there, but still the damage from the Troll Warrior with all those stacks of forever built up, and will be Seedoy to survive for a very long time. Affin is going to arrive and will slay too. Looking for G now. He's going to jump up towards the high ground. Affin has a blink. And G is actually out of mana. Storm versus Ember will result in a suicide. Honorable Sudoku from G.
Never refuse gold.
Man, that Lycan survived for a lot longer than I thought. Walrus Punch obviously helping out just to keep the Legion out of that fight. Oh, Sioma. Not sure if this guy... Oh, he's actually not going to hit with the chains, or chains into TP out immediately. Nice safe play there. Yeah, AC on Lycan is a big one. Again, he will be able to take a lot of Troll Warlord hits, but with the bash, he will never really be able to find himself in a position where he can return fire. And that's where Troll Warlord usually just has a 1-up above some other carries. Lycan can get a basher, and with the Assault Cuirass and the Mask of Madness, like it's a possibility that he's gonna like win that bash race, but it's not really what he wants to be doing. He would rather just ignore the Troll Warlord, have the Warlock ultimate and the RP deal with him, while he chases after those, you know, not troll heroes. And we're back in. 29 kills, 29 minutes. Effect very regular in this game. Still looking for those aggressive picks. No Lycan, this is not really going to be something that Effect can really significantly pressure. Well, they will have a really good position on Afterlife if Magnus was not going towards the bottom lane. Arzeek. Don't breathe. Oh no, he breathed. And he should be dead here, although the help is coming in. They'll drop a freezing field on the Warlock just to secure the dual damage. Get a fissure and a stun onto the Ember Spirit. Orchid is up on the Storm, and they will tear him apart. Seedoy is going to arrive. BKB active, looking for G, but he's going to get glimmered out still. They have some true sight on the Magnus. He has a gem. Magnus, by the way, going to get caught up by the real you. Bash to all hell. The BKB is out. Roger, for some reason here. Snowball is going to get him towards the creep wave, I would imagine. Oh no, all the way towards Sioma, but he just got baited in for a fissure. Roger will fall, and suddenly 4 heroes down from Effect as Vega takes 0 casualties. And Effect again, making some sloppy plays. The Warlock dead in an instant. That's fine, whatever. Another hero wandering in gets silenced. Ember Spirit, you know what? That's okay too. Just back out. But deciding to fight, knowing that you have no chaotic offering, knowing that your Ember Spirit and Warlock are both dead, and your BKB is mostly wasted because you're chasing after a freaking Storm Spirit. Effect are trying way too hard to make these fights happen, when really they should just be cutting their losses and falling back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And now the tower is gonna get destroyed. This Troll Warlord has some serious deeps. Man, it does seem like Effect, they have like all the tools they could possibly want to win these fights. But Vega, off of this Legion Commander mostly, also somewhat because of the Storm Spirit, just always finding the correct pickoff. That's the initiation that effect, again, we're really lacking. As far as starting a fight is concerned, Blink Skewer is pretty much the best they have, or random like chains. That's great for starting a gank, but as far as starting a large 5-on-5 fight, you really want to do better than that. The gem was also reclaimed, or claimed by Vega. Was it reclaimed? No, just claimed by the Vega side. I think the Magnus was holding on to that before and did end up losing it. Shot slow. Into the Shadow Blade. Got a sigil overhead. Sioma is going to glimmer in. Sees Roger. He was actually invis. They're going to find Roger and jump on him anyway. And the duel is also going to be used in the back lines. Just trying to get another hero out of here. And they will take out the Magnus. Again, a fight where Vega start things off at a vast advantage. Even without the Troll Warlord, who's now going to make his arrival in. Mischance applied to Seedoy. Bashes onto the Ember Spirit. They'll claw him down. Now onto Arzeek. They'll take down the Warlock as well. Darg's going to charge out of there. But that was mostly a 4-on-5 fight from the Vega Squadron side, but just initiating so cleanly makes it almost as if that numerical disadvantage doesn't even matter. Magnus was not in that fight. He was dueled the entire time, and the Legion Commander did go down. Trading Legion 1-for-1 is perfectly fine for Vega Squadron. That is not even what happened, though. I mean, she was able to take down the Magnus. I think she got dual damage off of that. The real you able to arrive and clean everything up, and with only one hero here, Seedoy's got to watch his tower fall. They do have buybacks, but Effect may consider not using them because Vega can still fight here as long as G has mana, and he does. He's going to jump in, look for the Ember Spirit, force a jump out. Seedoy will start the shapeshift as Roger just wants a target. Snowball is there. Real you is really quick. Shiva's Guard going to further slow him down, but they'll catch up to the Storm and take down the double life. Whoa! Walrus Punch glitching out. There's a portal in the air. G will ball lightning all the way away towards top lane. Real you stalked by Shotchlow. RP into a skewer back. There is a BKB here on Troll Warlord. I'm not really sure if it's worth using. He's gonna try with the Mischance, actually getting a lot of evasion, and there's no detection. He's just gonna walk out of here. You gotta be kidding me, man. Silver Edge is gonna let him survive. Okay. There was dust on the Tusk, but he used it over here to kind of like start the fight.
Stupendous.
That should not have happened, man. Real you was dead to rights.
Never refuse gold.
This will do nicely.
You bet that's not going to happen again. Effect will overload themselves in detection if they have to. Make sure that situation does not occur twice. Still for Vega Squadron, damage has been done. Racks over in mid, tower as well. Not an irrelevant part of this Vega Squadron game plan. The shrines are now available to kill off.
Invisibility.
Troll Warlord can kill a shrine like nobody's business, let me tell you. Ambush into Arzeek. Surprise! There's a troll in your face and a duel. That's 102 for the Legion. And that is a Warlock who is down for a minute. Otherwise would have had a Chaotic Offering for this fight. Now this should be something that Effect give up, this mid lane range racks. Definitely not worth their time. Bottom lane is worth their time though. Blink Echo Slam, gonna land to the Ember Spirit, jump in from G, is gonna shred the Ember. He can't get a single spell cast off, and they pull back the Lycan. He does get a shapeshift off with the bashes. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. BKB, he's gonna try to book it with the shrine. He will get out of there, but Roger will not be as lucky. Freezing Field from Silent, plus the jump in from the Legion Commander. Shapeshift is just burning daylight right now. I guess burning moonlight. As Lycan will be forced to base with that ultimate. That's Rax taken on bottom and mid, and might just be Megas. Keep in mind the Ember Spirit did buy back for the defense of the mid lane before, which means he of course does not have it now. Lycan and Magnus versus the world. A 5-man RP or bust at this point, and they have to do it like 5 seconds ago. Yeah, they're just gonna tap out. One more dual win for the road. That's gonna be another one. That's 120 for the Legion Commander. 29-31. Behind in kills, yet still massively ahead in gold. Vega get themselves together. It was a sloppy early game from Vega. Very sloppy. Making aggressive plays with just 1 or 2 heroes. expecting the TPs from effect and just not being prepared. It is going to be something that they're going to smooth out by the end, get themselves into a really nice groove, and it really is their initiations. This Legion Commander pick, along with the Storm Spirit, effectively making every single fight start out 5v4 in favor of Vega. You're taking out the Warlock or the Magnus, not having to worry about that big ultimate. That's really going to be a game saver there for the Vega Squadron side. Actually, see, I got some dual damage. It's kind of nice. Despite having a super farmed Lycan, it didn't seem like Effect really had the coordination involved to kind of receive the initiation and then respond to it. I feel like maybe I'm not gonna say that Roger's a bad Tusk player, but I will say that a Blink Dagger on Tusk could have given them maybe some sort of counterplay versus that initiation, because they really didn't have any. Like, if they got initiated upon, you had to make sure that you had a Warlock rock there immediately. And if Warlock got initiated upon, well, that's just not going to happen. This is a best of 3, guys. And we'll see if Vega Squadron are able to put a quick end to Effect. I'm Mike Lohr. It's been a pleasure casting this game for you guys, and I'll be right back. Welcome back to the Epicenter qualifiers. This is lower bracket action, best of 3 between Vega Squadron and Effect. Currently 1-0 in favor of Vega. Sloppy play a couple of times from both sides, but Vega got their act together by the end of it, and hey, that's all that matters, right? That end game. I'm Mike Lowe's going to be your caster for this game, and we have ourselves a much different start. Terrorblade, I believe, was banned out. May have been third banned by one of the teams, but otherwise he's going to be first picked here from the Vega Squadron, and they're actually going to be pretty happy to see this on the effects side, Clockwork and Shadow Fiend. Not because, not because that's really a cakewalk to play up against, but because Clockwork and Shadow Fiend means that the mid lane for Effect is locked up, which means that you're not going to go up against Alina, which means Terrorblade is going to be feeling pretty good about that. Now, the raised damage can still add up on the Terrorblade for sure, but for the most part, if you can avoid those big magic burst heroes as the Terrorblade, and most of them come from the mid lane, Ember Spirit, Alina, then you're going to be pretty happy.
5 seconds remaining.
Now, Effect with this combo will obviously look to utilize the very intended interaction of cogs to gain souls for the Shadow Fiend in the early game. Because, as we all know, cogs, purely machine constructions, have souls. So yeah, they're going to look to use that, and ooh, they're going to grab a Phoenix afterwards. Seems like they're starting to build up just a lot of team fight here. Initiation was something that Effect we're kind of lacking in the last game, and we'll solve that by first picking the Clockwork here. But support Phoenix is something that I'm not really sure if I'm a huge fan of. It is a really, really good hero to have versus Terrorblade. Let me tell you guys, if you want to feel like the most like awful feeling deep in your soul, play Terrorblade up against Phoenix, and then get hit with Fire Spirits. It's actually the worst thing in the world. It's actually terrible. You have to get that magic immunity for the Terrorblade, for sure. For sure. Even though the Phoenix has advantages in that regard, the heal, Sunray with the Shadow Fiend is very nice. Whoa, 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 hold up here. Is this a real draft, guys? Is this a real draft? Hold on. Yeah, we have ourselves a real draft. But even though the Phoenix is a really good matchup, 1v1 versus the Terrorblade, he is still a hero that really only works in the later stage of the game. Early on, he's kind of mediocre. That's really a really bad phase for the Phoenix. And for Vega to already have a Terrorblade, they are in a position where they can go very aggressive early on, especially with this Nyx Assassin pick. I love this pick here for the Vega Squadron side. Looking at Effect's heroes, Enigma's usually going towards offlane, as is Clockwork, so one of them's going to have to play in the 4 position, right? Enigma jungle or Clockwork support, seen it all. Not really sure which one is really preferable here, but either way, Nyx Assassin has such a great matchup against this kind of wild AoE of the Phoenix and the Shadow Fiend. Just step into the Sunray and get that Spike Carapace off. You're feeling pretty good about the Nyx Assassin then. And of course, we have this Pudge from the Vega Squadron side. Another hero to save along with that Dazzle Terrorblade. Definitely looking to be protected here. And Pudge, pretty good up against those cogs. If you can hook out a Phoenix or Enigma, you're feeling great about your game. Now even more initiation for Vega. They are really ready to jump in on this last safe laner of Effect. Enigma also, and I mean, this is pretty much what Vega Squadron are intending to do with their last 2 picks, Storm Nyx, just to mess with that Enigma. Faceless Void the pick for Effect, as they're going to solidify their massive team fight draft. And yes, that is going to mean that in a full 5-on-5 heads-up fight, the odds of Effect losing are slim to none. But with Vega Squadron having Storm Spirit and Nyx Assassin, both of whom obviously are great pick-off heroes, and the Pudge, a support hero who is also really strong in the pick-off department, who is also not really seen all that often, but hey, if you do land a hook, and if you're able to take down that hero before Effect are able to respond, if you're able to pull apart the Effect heroes, that's how Vega Squadron are going to win these fights. I got a couple of people saying that the real U is actually Aloha Dance. I am not 100% on that, but just keep that in mind. That might be the real Aloha Dance, actually.
5 seconds remaining.
But hey, I don't want to give credit to some guy. If it's actually someone else, I don't want to give credit to Aloha Dance, because he's not doing anything here. But if it is Aloha Dance, then I'm giving credit to him anyway by saying the real you. So, I mean, that's his decision, right? That's his prerogative. It is going to be a big team fight game for effect going up against the kind of pick-apart style of Vega. And in these situations, it is pretty much always going to come down to who is more on the ball, who is just playing better. And off of the last game, I gotta say, as far as that playing better is concerned, I gotta hand it to Vega, but not really by all that much. They were able to get their act together by the end, as I said before, but it was still a little bit of a struggle. Oh. Only one cog. And Affin is like, start at 12 o'clock, goddammit! Start at the top, Seedoy! This is the point of this combo. There we go. So clockwise. There we go. 3. That's good. You can do this all day. Like, you just max out in souls. And we can see Shadow Fiend, he really wants to smooth over this power curve. Shadow Fiend level 1 is awful. Shadow Fiend level 1 with 3 Fairy Fires, plus this extra Cog Soul. It definitely can make the difference here.
30 seconds to battle.
Thank you, Ice Frog, for this interaction. 9 denies in the Shadow Fiend. Gotta remember that these do count as denies in the chart, but don't actually deny any experience towards Vega. Oh yeah, that value. It's so stupid that this is an interaction, guys. I'm gonna be honest, this is kind of BS right here. The Vega, in the meantime, they just put up some observer wards. They're gonna take a little bit of a walkabout in the enemy jungle. We see Afterlife is gonna go for the mass attack speed build. Yeah, this build actually used to be something that you would do on Lone Druid. Just mass up gloves on the bear. Not even joking, guys. Like, I'm talking way back when. People used to do that. But this advantage of the souls is going to give Shadow Fiend a really good fighting chance up against the Storm. Now, Shadow Fiend, as far as harassing the Storm, can do it once like level 5 is hit. But now that he has just as much, actually a little bit more base damage than the Storm Spirit, G's lane is actually fairly rough here. He's going to be outranged, he's going to be out-nuked. And there may be a couple rotations going either way. But either way, the Storm Spirit does have to watch himself quite a bit. Unless Sioma's going to do this. Hook in and look to deny the wave of the Shadow Fiend. Now this is going to mess with the lane obviously quite a bit. It's going to give Sioma essentially a full jungling worth of experience. But it's also going to mean that Affin's souls are going to be kind of hard to come by. If you're a level 1 Shadow Fiend, even though you may have a couple of extra souls here, not going to matter if you can't get your raises up. And Sioma so far, at least with this first one, has done it absolutely perfectly. Killed a full wave, killed a full friendly wave, killed a creep camp, is going to deny the rest of his friendly wave to the dragons. And we can see he's ready to go again. So yeah, this Pudge, you can definitely do some cute things with this hero. He's going to run to our Zeke. Pudge can't really do that much versus the Phoenix. Roger, caught in a cage. Really, he was going to start killing him off, as will Silent. But Clockwork in the top lane is going to be the selection here from the effect side. Enigma is just going to be jungling in the meantime. Enigma jungle is one of the fastest ones. Oh, Affinage in a little bit of trouble. One more shot. Oh! Literally 1 HP. Circlet, good item. Circlet, great item. And the Shadow Fiend will shrine up back to full. Now, if G is a little bit luckier there, that could have been a kill. We can see damage is 60 to 70 plus 3. On average, you do 65. But if he was a little bit luckier there, maybe he rolled low. Maybe could have been first blood. Either way, the Storm with that what are we gonna call it? Pull from the Pudge, creep Pudge pull. Going to make things a lot more difficult for that Shadow Fiend. Now Pudge can't do that all the time. He will shrine up again, but he is kind of needed on this bottom lane. Nick Assassin isn't gonna have a tough time necessarily, but oh whoa, okay, Silent is gonna kill off Roger, and I totally caught that, guys. You didn't miss anything. It is going to be a Terrorblade with level 1 Metamorphosis to get the kill. Clockwork, if you're not burning out the Terrorblade of mana, you have to play the distances very carefully. Affinage is going to get jumped by Sioma and turn around for a hook. Affinage actually played that very confidently by running after the Pudge. Now, obviously, a turnaround hook could have been really bad. Silent is going to be here to help out G, which Roger is going to make a rotation in very fast with this build. But I'm not really sure what he's actually trying to accomplish here as a level 3 Clockwork. if you're a support Clockwork, that's fine, but if the team is counting on you to be in the off lane, you kind of can't afford to make that rotation and just like kind of say, screw the off lane, I'm going to go out, about and wander. Our Zeke the Phoenix is going to take over for right now, of course going to weaken this bottom lane by quite a bit. This is already a lane where Afterlife is having quite a nice time here as the Nyx Assassin. Level 4, with this regeneration and his armor and the poor man shield, there's really no chance that he ever dies to Seedoy, unless Seedoy gets like 10 bashes in a row. The Nyx Assassin should be getting a full lane worth of income and experience. What has this Pudge been up to? Hey, he's doing more shenanigans. G's able to just blast down the creep wave with those remnants. Clockwork perhaps going to look to put a stop to this. But he is going to be in between a rock and a hard place. A rock, I mean Pudge, and a hard place, I mean G with a double damage rune. Roger's going to try to race for Sioma, and the race for the kill is going to be won. He will still die. I mean, there was no getting out of that. Actually, Silent was arriving with that heal. That could have definitely turned the tides if he was a little bit faster incoming. But yeah, able to take down the Pudge. Clockwork is now a support Clockwork. I mean, he is pretty much just saying that with his movement. Now, RZ can handle the top lane. Phoenix just is ranged, and there's not enough catch on the Vega Squadron side to really punish an offlane Phoenix. So I don't really mind this rotation all that much, especially if they're able to get on top of the Terrorblade. He does have Conjure Image up and Metamorphosis. So Battery Assault, even though it does, I think it does like 700 something damage at level 1, if it's just one target, it'll do very little up against a full creep wave. Shotzill is going to arrive. They have additional damage, and now the Fire Spirit's going to land onto the Terrorblade. Feels bad, man. We can see his DPS just plummet to 0 as soon as that Fire Spirit lands. They'll take him down. But at what cost? Silent's going to run to Roger. Realize, hey, that's a Clockwork. I don't want to fight that alone. Pudge is here, so they could split the damage. And with the Poison Touch and the Rot, Clockwork is not going to escape this. He's going to get hooked and dead. Sioma going to chalk one up for himself.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They'll make the rotation up towards top. Terrorblade has been alone for a little while now. Dazzle rotated towards the bottom lane, try to get into that earlier fight. Dazzle being with the real you definitely would have swung things in favor of Vega in that gank. This status quo, though, is very, very Vega favored. Obviously, this Pudge shenanigans, I mean, it only says he has 4 CS and 0 denies. That is wrong. He has 4 CS and at least 8 denies. He denied 2 entire creep waves to the Shadow Fiend, and we could see the impact of that right here. G, second place in net worth, pretty much exactly where a mid laner wants to be, and Shadow Fiend is kind of scraping the bottom here. Now, he is still able to stick in lane, no real pressure to shove him out. We'll have the raises up, but they slowed down the Shadow Fiend by such a huge margin. Really kind of disgusting what you could do with that.
Dire's middle tower
I guess the only remaining question is, what is more broken? Pudge pulls or Clockwork cogs feeding the Shadow Fiend's soul? It's the eternal question, guys. G now is level 7, so they are able to apply that active pressure towards Athen instead of just passively applying pressure with denying his wave. Just throw the Pudge in there, let the Storm Spirit go ham if you find an opening. And the Shadow Fiend is probably going to be in a position where he's going to resort to raise to CS, just hide behind his tower. Even hiding behind your tower, though, isn't really going to be completely safe. Thunder Lizards farmed up by Shotchlo. And he's feeling pretty good about his life right now. There are a lot of heroes converging upon him, especially Silent from the left. If he lands a Poison Touch, that's just a kill. Shotchlo can look to put the Eidolons in front of him. Yes, that's how you pronounce it. And in the meantime, they're going to dive in deep, looking for a Phoenix. Afterlife with the real you will take down our Zeke. And looks like Sioma get hit with a little bit of stun action, a little bit more coming as Roger's going to get right in front of him. Pudge has to deny himself. Sioma, how baller are you? Turns out he's full baller, guys. That is, not easy to do. Jump in. Phoenix is going to get Icarus canceled. Not really going to do anything off of that. It was a little bit late. But still, the real you able to shove in this top wave. Look at this Fire Spirit. Minus attack speed. Ugh. Like, yeah, at this point, Terrorblade's like, God, I wish I had a Bloodstone so I could kill myself. It feels so bad. You could get a Manta style to split out of one of those spirits, but Phoenix has more. Oh, Roger. Support Clockwork. I actually am very impressed by how he's kind of deviated into this support Clockwork role. That being said, they're going really deep to go in for this Terror Blade. There is a Nyx Assassin here. They have to make sure not to get caught with the Chrono. Nyx Assassin now spotted as well. Black Hole ready and primed. 4 shots though is not going to use it just yet. Spike Carapace will slow him down. They will take down the real you. And the Storm Spirit will jump out of there. Afterlife playing that very, very hook. Okay, just getting Afterlife out of there, I suppose. Affinage, though, going to arrive. He does not have Spike Carapace. Looking for the jukes. 1 raise to land. 2nd raise will miss. You just have to right-click him, bro. And now he's in a lot of trouble. G does not have the pullback. Sioma, hook is available. They got him right back into the Impale. Perfectly coordinated that time.
Radiant's bottom
They lose the Terror Blade, but gain the Shadow Fiend.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
In an okay trade for effect. They're gonna be kind of okay with that, especially if they can drop a Black Hole on him again. Here comes the magical damage from the Phoenix. Not enough to instantly get the kill, but he doesn't have a Sunder, so it's not really a big deal. They'll tick him down with the dots.
Is under attack.
And the real you will fall in the 2nd time towards top lane. Much needed kills here for effect. This Terror Blade has had way too good of a time so far. But at this point in the game, Terror Blade is not even their primary concern, killing him off at least. The concern has got to be, how do we actually use these pickoffs to get the Shadow Fiend back into play?
Dire's top tower
The Shadow Fiend can flash farm like nobody's business, but up against Storm Spirit, a Nyx Assassin, and a Pudge, it is so difficult to actually get him guaranteed farm without getting him picked off. And of course, whenever you get picked off, you lose your souls, and then farming gets slower, and it's just this whole big ordeal. Our Zeke also, oh my god, that Vendetta hit did some damage.
Radiant's
The Phoenix has like 0 base armor, but I did not expect that much damage. Holy crap, that Vendetta did a lot. And this is also a level 7 Nyx Assassin, so level 4 Impale is up, and he is doing an awful lot. We usually don't see this much successful rotation from Nyx Assassins, just because, well, usually there are just fewer opportunities. But Enigma in the jungle, a soft mid laner like Shadow Fiend, opportunities are pretty easy to come by from the Vega side. What has this Pudge been up to? It's level 6 right now. Hook accuracy, you know, I would say around that 50% mark. He does have that chow down though. Some fresh meat perhaps for Sioma as they're going to assemble the troops. In the mid lane, Silent does have a hook out, although it's gonna miss, so maybe not. And unfortunately, Silent cannot kill himself, although we'll get a lot of help here. 2-man Impales, they jump in towards the Shadow Fiend, and they will do a lot of damage, not quite enough to kill. Although with the real you coming in, they will take down the Shadow Fiend. Cedoid Chronosphere is gonna catch on the Storm Spirit, as will the ultimate from our Zeke. Slowed down the Terror Blade. Hook will finish off the Phoenix, and Real You is now going to stand strong up against the Faceless Void, who will dodge the Impale with the Time Walk. Well played, but Roger does not have that same luxury. He'll put himself in a corner and just die. They'll lose the Storm Spirit and the Dazzle, but lose 3 in exchange on the effect side. Storm Spirit will be up soon enough. And that is once again a fight where Shadow Fiend was not able to survive. That's going to be his souls going down the drain. That is Afterlife playing absolutely amazing on this Nyx Assassin. And Shadow Fiend is having such a rough farm game. Enigma with Hand of Midas, and just because he's able to clear the jungle so quickly, is still working with a lot of cash. But Enigma with a lot of gold is not really what you want up against a Pudge, Nyx, and Storm.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Really need a BKB in that case, and then like it's just the Pudge that you have to worry about. But it's still not impossible for Sioma to land that hook. Afterlife on the hunt. Target acquired. 2 of them, 3 of them. He knows the Phoenix is really easy to kill. Sioma's gonna plant some vision. Roger gonna get rid of that vision. Oh, our Zeke. Well, he'll kill off the Observer Ward. They'll dust up and miss Afterlife by a mile. And Nyx Assassin looks like it's the first Vendetta that's actually not going to do anything. Aloha Dance slash the real you. Gonna be pretty happy in the jungle right now. Level 10 Terrorblade. Can clear very, very quickly. Not really needed around the map right now. G still needs that Bloodstone. It's gone for Power Treads. You know, pretty standard stuff with Storm Spirit build-up, including that full magic wand. But right now, Vega are really low on damage over in the mid lane. They'll weave up Afterlife. Roger has a hook shot, but really doesn't want to commit onto a Nyx Assassin.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
They'll take down a tower. Vega really don't have the heroes to defend right now. They do want G to get this extra farm. They want Terrorblade to do the same.
Bottom tower is under attack.
With the Chronosphere, Supernova, the Requiem, though it is only level 1. You can see Effect kind of starting to swing their big team fight around. They just want to show it off. Say, okay, Vega, we're going to group up as 5 and take your structures. If you don't want to do anything about it, that's fine. But if you do want to do something about it, we'll just kill you. And Vega split pushing, starting with this Terrorblade with the bottom lane from G. Courier intercepts. Almost there from Afterlife. Very close timing. But Effect can afford to do this. They do have to make sure not to do this all the time. Getting only a tower for like a couple minutes of 5-man is not worth it.
Radiant's top
Getting Roche will make it worth it in the end, though. Double damage rune on the Shadow Fiend, plus that Vlad's aura on Seedoy. And Roche is not going to last long at all. Especially with Roger potentially protecting from any sort of Pudge hook shenanigans.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And it'll be a free double life here for the Effect side. This will start giving them a little bit of momentum. Use this big team fight to lock out Vega. Now the last big team fight combo, the Chronosphere and the Supernova worked out decently in the mid lane. Just not enough damage afterwards because of how fast the Shadow Fiend dropped. Afterlife sees an Enigma. It's an Enigma with an Ogre Club though, not an easy kill by himself.
Dire's
Call an
middle
Io,
tower is
he
under
needs some
attack.
help. Affinage, another big target. Roger, not quite as big, but still something that he would want to go for any of these heroes if he had the backup.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Or Courier. Chicken.
Radiant's bottom
Buckles
tower
is going
under
to make his
attack.
way out, and on the return, will probably get picked off here. No? Deviates his course to go up towards top lane to make his final delivery towards our Zeke. That sucks if you're Afterlife. Bottom lane still being pushed. G.
Tower is under attack.
Again, still looking for that soul booster. 3,000 towards it. Very close to completion.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Now, once they get the Bloodstone, they'll have some sort of shot
Dire's
against
middle
this.
tower is under attack.
Double life, plus that Dragonlance and Shadow Fiend. In fact, are able to make these pushes pretty freely. Nyx, Pudge, Storm, they're nowhere near defending this, so they just are all in the split push plan. No real delays either. Someone like a Keeper of the Light, or just like a Alina with a Dragon Slave can definitely stall this up. But it seems though those heroes are clearly not selected. Whoa, Phoenix TP will be cancelled by Afterlife. Lots of damage, but far from a kill. By a little bit of time for everyone to make their retreat over in bottom. And Afterlife is actually still chasing after this Phoenix. Icarus Dive will get him away. G. Soul Booster is available. A lot of extra mana because of just that item. But still not going to go for it. Effect walk in. Take 2 towers in the mid lane. And then we'll walk in towards bottom to do the exact same thing. Now Vega are getting a lot of farm in the meantime, just because they know that while this push is happening, there's like a 0% chance that anyone dies in any other lane. So they will just boldly farm those lanes, shove them out as fast as they can, and ultimately they are getting like 2 lanes worth of golden experience, whereas for Effect they're only getting 1.
What I
Is under
miss?
attack.
So it's not like totally bad for Vega.
Radiant's middle tower
But
is under
the
attack.
concerning thing is that they're not doing anything to kind of stop this from happening at all. So Effect will just constantly do it until all the towers are down, then look for the high ground.
Bottom tower.
Or look for the high ground right now when only 2 of the tier 2 towers are down. And now Vega's hand is forced. Their split push is not fast enough to deviate Effect from this. Afterlife looking for a Ravage. Ooh, second guess it. Oh, there's the Impale. There's the Ravage onto 3. Hook out is going to actually clump them up so that Clockwork can get 2 in the cogs. Shots looking for a black hole. Can't find it. The Chronosphere, though, is going to land onto 2 in the back lines. Here comes the Supernova and the Razes and the black hole all piled in towards that Terrorblade. He is going to get stunned up, and he will not get the Sunder off. They should lose Afterlife here as well. He will fall. That's a 3-0. All of the ultimates from Effect are down. So now Vega can fight, at least as best as they can. Jump back in from G, looking for the Enigma. Afterlife trying to cast an Impale. Will get it off onto the Enigma. Will grant them 1 kill, but it'll cost an Assassin. And now G needs to get himself out of here. Hook is already down. Silent taking a big hit, but not quite dead just yet. Sioma looking for a hook angle, but there are so many tiny summons in the way. And now the Sunray gonna juice them back up to near full HP. 20 minutes in, racks fall. They'll lose the Phoenix very quickly. Though with the cog pushback, Storm Spirit will be forced to jump right back out, and the 2 supports on the side will get obliterated. Did Effect just win this game? They may have just won off of that play. And for Vega, they need a silencer, a global silence in order to deal with this. They also need for Sioma not to group up their own heroes so that they all get hit with that big AoE teamfight combo. Keep in mind, this is also, in the grand scheme of things, Effect with a Shadow Fiend who is still, or who was for a very long time behind. Has recovered since then, but he was slowed down a lot. He's still doing the damage just because he has all this backup. Do they even have a mech? They don't even have a mech, man. Enigma just gonna go blink BKB. Vega are failing to separate this 5-man of Effect before the Effect heroes are ready to get into the high ground push. Gonna cost them 1 full lane.
Stupendous.
And Afterlife grabs the Illusion Rune. Got him. That'll show them. Half a Ninja now on top of the net worth chart in Vega. I don't really know what they can do about this. Courier is going to be killed off as well. At least it didn't have anything on it. G did get his Bloodstone in the past fight and is going to go towards an Orchid. But they need to win a team fight, Vega, if they're going to look to turn this around. And again, they have had very little game in doing so thus far, with the BKBs coming up on both the SF and Enigma. The Mantis Style on Seedoy, of course, level 2 Chronosphere is up. How are Vegas supposed to do this? Your guess is as good as mine, because the shit is about to hit the fan real soon. Sioma needs to land a hook, it seems. Force out a couple heroes up towards the top. Hook will land onto the Faceless Void, but no Dismember in time. Seedoy will time walk it back, and pretty much nothing will come out of that. Bottom lane is being slightly split pushed by this Terrorblade. He's doing what he can. And he's going pretty quickly, actually. With more illusions to leave behind. TPs are not incoming. Dire Scan will keep him safe. Afterlife gonna look to poke out. You have to watch out. If G gets Chronosphered like that, right with the black hole, very bad situation. Although he will have a quick respawn. Won't really be quite quick enough. Shoshlo, hit with the Impale, hooked out as well. Can they kill off this Enigma? He's going to put out the black hole, and that means he will not die. Sioma will die to himself, actually. Commits Sudoku one more time. Afterlife in the corner is going to group Effect up. They're going to jump in after this Clockwork. Seedoy still holding that Chronosphere, but they're just bleeding out health and heroes right now. Vega will save Afterlife, albeit barely. BKBs haven't popped out, but so far no big teamfight ultimates used. Real U on bottom lane. Got all the way to the tier 3s, and Vega make such a great poke play. They will get themselves a tier 3 tower for free. For Pudge, rather, not necessarily free. Man, Effects were definitely feeling confident with their team fights spells, if there was actually a chance to use them. But that's setup from Afterlife. Setting up on that Enigma so that the hook can land. Exactly what Vega need. Kind of just need to bait Effect into using their ultimates really poorly, or pickoffs. This is what they've been dying for this entire time, and Roger is gonna get impaled. Dismember is waiting for him, and whoa, Storm Spirit's here as well as the Dazzle. Okay, everyone is here from Effect, from Vega rather, to kill off Roger. Killing off a Clockwork is not going to stop a push from Effect if Effect really want to do it. But Effect are playing a little bit cautiously now, seeing as though in this push, unlike the last, there is no double life here. No Aegis just yet. Affininge gonna get pulled in. No Dismember one more time. Seedoy threatening the Chronosphere. Not gonna pull that trigger just yet. Actually, there was no Dismember on cooldown. It was used earlier. Shotch though, BKB forced out very early on. He won't be able to do that much with it. Off in the side in the meantime, Silent in a really bad spot right now, though. The real U is here. Look at calling the Chronosphere. Arzeek has freedom to pull out his ultimate right now. Sunder from the real U, not going to happen. He doesn't have a buyback. He might need it right now because Black Hole caught a whole bunch on the back lines. G will fall. And the Supernova will go off in celebration. Stormly up in 5. Terrorblade needs to buy back for this. If they don't have the Terrorblade, they don't have enough damage. Xiongwen finally does have another Dismember. He'll throw it out, kill a creep. Storm Spirit is ready to go. Nick Assassin doing what he can to cut the creep wave. He's going to jump in straight towards the Phoenix, jump straight out, but the racks are gone already. Effect are getting these objectives down in Vega, refusing to buy out on this Terrorblade. Afterlife scanned, and will get a couple of creeps on his tail. Roger needs a hook shot to land, though. He's just buying time for the dust, and the hook shot will slip in. He has a Force Staff, Afterlife, and there is no more detection, but he's still dead. He will fall 2 racked now in favor of Effect. Vega, I again don't really know what they can do about this. They'll try to go for a pick on the faces forward with the Orchid. They'll take him down. Look for a second into Roger. The Cogs will push back G. Lose a little bit of mana there. He's still on for the chase. Try to get in front of Roger, but this Clockwork is just so tanky with that Solar Crest. G doesn't actually... Wow, that disrespect? Seriously? Xiongwen's gonna jump in and say, screw you, buddy. And they'll get the kill on the Clockwork, who for some reason decided that was a good play. These handful of kills for Vega are not good enough to get them into parity in this game. They need a gold lead if they're going to be even in this game. Not even joking, guys. Like, this 11k advantage that we see for Effect right now, it will be probably a 3k advantage for Vega if they want to say, okay, we're in a good spot in this game. Picking off Arzeek is definitely a good start, and Afterlife will do that by himself. Effect losing a couple heroes here and there, but it's in a period of time where they're kind of allowed to lose heroes because they don't have the... Oh, that's not the play. It's not like a super long duration BKB, but he doesn't have it. But either way, it'll come back online when the Black Hole's online, so he's just setting that up for later. No teamfight ultimates, no Aegis means that Effect are going to be less than willing to go for a very aggressive game-winning play. So getting picked off is not the end of the world. Vega setting up for a Roche play. At least trying to counter that of Effect. Afterlife stunned up, does have a Force Staff, will stun up a handful of heroes, hook out on the Phoenix, and they will be able to drop him very low. Seedoy drops a Chronosphere, only lands on the Dazzle, however. Now he is in a lot of trouble, dismembered up, and is going to get pulled back and dropped. Already 2-0 here for Vega, as Affininge is going to let loose with his ultimate. Real U is going to challenge that Shadow Fiend 1v1. Silence is going to prevent himself from dying with the Grave, and we'll make it a 4-0. Vega closing the gap a little bit here, and now we'll be able to take down Roche off of a very fresh Metamorphosis. Afterlife just scouting out in case Shotchlow gets a little bit brave here, and he will be able to make sure that this is a safe Roche. That fight is exactly what Vega needed, and that's exactly what their heroes have to do up against Effect. Pull them apart and isolate them. They killed off the Phoenix, and they were able to isolate the Faceless Void without their ultimates doing all that much. Phoenix didn't even get his off. Faceless Void kind of panicked into a move there to save his buddy. Ultimately only got one with the Chronosphere and wasn't even able to right-click that hero because it was a Dazzle. And that is such a difficult fight to replicate from Vega. Like, it only really happened because everyone from Effect was coming down a hill, up the hill into Vega's land. So replicating that in the future is going to be a tough sell. But with this double life, they're able to find a couple of minutes now, able to split farm the map, get a couple of items up, get G, this Shiva's Guard. Already this Orchid has been overperforming for him. Try to split push as best they can, because Lord knows they need it. Afterlife's gonna blow the smoke from Sachel. He has no detection. They'll drop a sentry, but Afterlife is not newbie enough to get caught by that. He'll just go straight towards the south. There is minimal pressure being applied towards the Radiant base right now. Top lane, a couple of illusions will be sent out by the real you. That's going to do very little to stem this bleeding. $5K lead for effect, but 2 racks. Means that they're in a position they could just suicide dive for those buildings. And if they're able to take him out, that's just a game win. I don't think Vega can beat Megas. G in the back. Does have that double life. He'll take down all the shrines first of all. Real you still shoving top as fast as he can. And it's what, been a minute? He's gone from here to here. That's not really impressive. That's super creeps for you. He's trying to remain competitive in the farm. It's just so hard to accrue gold. Super creeps give less bounty, take longer to kill. So what you see is pretty much what you get with this Terrorblade. There's a big reason why he decided not to buy back earlier. You lose that gold, it's going to take such a long time to get it back. Afterlife. Sentry was not in range of this Nyx. Still scouting. And Vega are actually going to hold their base for right now. Look to get the element of surprise, perhaps. They see Seedoy. Time walk out. Afterlife sees absolutely everybody right now. Phoenix is off in no man's land, but no one's actually able to get on top of him, way too far away. That could have been such a big opportunity there from Vega if they were able to jump on top of this Faceless Void. But still, they're able to drive effect away from their own base. You can see the Terrorblade trying desperately to push out these side lanes. But in all this time, he's just not getting that much gold. Look at probably the best rune, Illusion Rune. When do you get to say that, right? Usually Illusion Rune is trash. But in this situation, it's exactly what a Terrorblade wants. Just more momentum towards bottom. Just try to distract effect for a couple more minutes. If you're the Shiva's Guard, G, working with that gem now. Again, if anyone on Vega gets picked off, if they don't have buyback, that's just game over, man. Game over, man. Game over. Storm is farming pretty rapidly, but everyone else on Vega really having troubles with income. I mean, it's tough enough to get farm on a Pudge or a Dazzle. But against super creeps, it just gets unrealistically difficult to get money. Without winning a team fight, of course. On the other side, they're freely farming the jungle, pushing out the waves, while not getting picked off. Afterlife is going to find Affinage in what could be a pretty big opportunity here, though Roger's right around the corner. Faceless Void just TP'd out. Afterlife does not know about that. There's Enigma right around the corner. This could be a really big opportunity here from Vega. Affinage is going to get jumped, but he pops the BKB immediately and is going to deploy the ultimate. It'll do very little, however. Sachel also going to use his BKB, again for not much. He blinks out to the side, will end up stunning the Nyx assassin with the Malphus, but it's in the south fight that's the real problem here. They're going to catch him to the clockwork, at least G will. Try to take him down with the Sunray. Do so much healing, not quite enough. Now the real you, onto the Phoenix. They'll take a double, looking for more. Hook in with the Dismember onto Affinage. There's a Chronosphere here, but they aren't going to pop it. And Vega get 3. Is this what they call a comeback? It just might be, as effect were pulled apart in all directions. G, with this much mana regeneration now, not someone you're going to be feeling comfortable throwing a Chronosphere towards. If you miss it, you're screwed. Same thing as the Enigma. And that was some beautiful play from Afterlife and G on the Nyx and Storm to kind of pull apart effect. Again, that fight, the way you operate in that fight is so damn near impossible. They're going to go for even more. Hook back now onto the Faceless Void. Chronosphere, not going to use just yet. Black Hole first is going to be committed. They'll focus down the Pudge, take down the Nyx Assassin as well. Now the Chronosphere Chain Stun onto the Terrorblade. Does have a Sunder, however. They need to take him down. Sunder is not going to be used. Oh no, that could have been huge if he was able to get that Sunder out. And G is going to be just fine here. Silent, probably not as much so. The base is in complete shambles here from Vega. And Silent just trying to make a retreat. Trying to buy some time, but there is a 0% chance of survival here from the Dazzle Storm. Does not have a TP Squirrel, so he has to just walk back. By walk back, I mean ball lightning back. Silent, wow, really just took that long to die? We know he was dead. Vega ended up buying back the Dazzle, still have Terrorblade buyback. Shouldn't need to use it. They will take down Range Rack's bottom, which is going to help quite a bit. But that Terrorblade, man, just a little bit short on durability. An additional health item, any health item, or like a magic wand, probably more so than health because of Shallow Grave, would have definitely turned the tides. Again, a Sunder means that he's still in the fight, and most likely it'll be a full lane of racks for Vega. Chronosphere and Black Hole were used there. So for effect, there's still at least 30 seconds, 45 seconds before they're really going to feel comfortable making another aggressive play. Afterlife. Meantime, stalking our Zeke. G going to come right in. Silence onto these Phoenix means he's going to go back into a circle. Awkward as hell for G, who uses a lot of mana for that. But still, doesn't matter, got kill. And Vega are bringing it back. 5k net worth. The lead is shrinking for effect. And again, Vega won't feel comfortable in this game until they have a gold lead. And about that time, it will be an even-ish game with being 2 racks down. But man, they are making such a huge stand here. Keep in mind, the first racks fell at 21 minutes, I believe. Usually, if you lose racks by then, you're just done. Game over, man. Game over. The Vega are starting to climb back in this game. Again, one bad fight from Vega, and it's all over. Oh, Afterlife with the quick fingers. The pings are out. Vega are so happy to see that. His face is void. He is going to be not that useful for effect for the next 100 seconds. And Vega, if they're able to take a fight right now, will maximize their chances to win. It'll be around the Roche pit. Bottom lane will be shoved in by G. That Bloodthorn now. This Storm Spirit's hitting pretty darn hard. So the farm levels of effect are pretty high. Manta Diffusal Blade on the Faceless Void. Shotshell has since picked up Octarine. He's had that for a very long time now, going for Travels, or has Travels as well. Shortly after, now going for a Refresher Orb. He is an absolute force to be reckoned with. And of course the Shadow Fiend. I have Scotty BKB. Nothing to sneeze at. But it is still seemingly affects team fight, and nothing but their team fight, not really their farm. Just all their team fight execution that matters in this game. Of course, farm will get you more team fight in the case of the Enigma. Once there's a gem picked up on effect, things get much more difficult for Vega. Afterlife can't do this, just get full free vision. And look for those picked off. Shoshlo stunned up and pulled back. This Enigma needs to survive. I'm not really sure if it's possible. He will go down, as will the Phoenix. And Vega, they'll take a little bit of damage here on the Nyx Assassin, but he's already done his job. They'll root down the Shadow Fiend with the neutrals, working for Vega. Hook back in from Rogers. Enigma's going to be forced to buy out. Ball letting back in from G onto the Clockwork. They'll take him down. Cito has a Chronosphere. He'll drop it, but he's not able to do that much damage. Shoshlo's going to come in from behind. He'll walk into the Black Hole and then whip his Black Hole. Oh my god, Shoshlo. He walked into Chrono, then whipped his Black Hole. At least he'll blink away from the Terrorblade, but he bought back for that. He has no buyback. The lanes are looking really good for Vega in the side. Again, that one range rack's doing some pretty nice work for them there. And now, since the ultimates are all down the tubes from effect, Vega have a chance to go straight for Roche. This is Roche 3. They don't have Metamorphosis here, but they will have the vision. Storm needs a little bit of time to get that mana back up. But effect, they whiff the Chronosphere. The first Chronosphere, they completely whiff the Black Hole as Enigma I mean, Blink Enigma is usually Blink Black Hole, but that was Blink into walk around for like 5 seconds into whiff the Black Hole. So easy to respond at that stage. And now he is a fairly useless hero, this Enigma, until he has that ultimate again. Oh, Real U, just fine. Regen rune picked up, gonna fill the tank of mana a little bit. Everyone in effect is back. But Vega are going Super Saiyan in this game. 2 racks down, not a big deal, man. They just have to make sure not to get too complacent. If they get a little bit careless with their positioning, it could very easily mean the end of the game. They go in as too tight of a clump, that could be it, but the Shiva's Guard gonna connect onto absolutely everyone, trying to focus down the Phoenix first. Gets stunned up by the Malefice, Afterlife looking to finish the kill, and he will do just that with the help of G's Orchid. And now they're going to try to disengage away from these BKBs. Afternoon and Shotchlo, both burning there to do very, very little. Sioma looking for the hook back in. He's going to catch Shotchlo, isolate him with the Dismember, and with the right clicks, should be able to take him down. Not quite, but he doesn't have a Black Hole. Anyway, he will get picked off by the Mana Burn. Chronosphere does drop into the Terrorblade, but now this time, he definitely has enough chance to get the Sunder off. They'll catch 2 in the cogs, but the Clockwork will sacrifice his life for it, as Afternoon is being chased down. Mana Burn hitting him pretty hard right there. He'll force that back up to the high ground. Sioma is going to give chase with the Blink Dagger and the hook. Real use here with the Sunder onto Seedoy. It's a full wipe for Vega. Oh my god, guys. Do you believe in miracles? Do you believe in miracles? Because Vega are doing it. The Faceless Void is going to buy out. Phoenix is going to try to Supernova in the back. That's not in range of this Terrorblade, so he's just shrugging it all off. Fortification will let him reposition. G just waiting for a little bit more juice to go back in. But this is mid-racks taken. Now this base of Vega is looking pretty darn bad. But with now Rax parity, Vega are going to take a gigantic lead in this game. Almost Rax parity. Range Rax at 80. That's actually really awkward. Oh my god. They're doing it. Vega are actually doing it. And Effect are having a real tough time finding opportunities with their ultimates. G's initiations, Afterlife's follow-ups have been absolutely miraculous. Like every single time. Jump in, knock out someone like a Phoenix or an Enigma. Now keep in mind, Lotus Orbs are coming up here. One on Shadow Fiend, one on the Phoenix. So that Bloodthorn effect is going to be a little bit more difficult to use here from G. He did not take down Roche, so it will be effect. I'm going to jump in towards that one. G does have a Scythe of Vice. Can reflect that. Afterlife, very careful here on the Nyx Assassin. He's gonna get a full scout out for free. Now G's gonna jump in again towards the back, and the Phoenix, even with the Lotus Orb, is gonna get picked off. Seedoy, Chronosphere, looking for it. Shotchlo, Black Hole as well. They're not committing anything just yet. Hook out from Afterlife with the Force Staff. He's fine. And Vega, they run a drive-by on effect. Buzz down the Phoenix, take him out. Slow down the Roche. Now they can't go in themselves. That will be suicidal. But they can wait for bottom lane to be pushed in. Terrorblade gonna send his goons to deal with that. Same time, top lane is somewhat of an issue here for Vega, but top lane is close to Roshan, so it's actually pretty convenient for them to deal with both. G has so many Bloodstone charges at this point. His mana regeneration is off the chain. He does have to be careful though. Chronosphere is pretty good still, even with the Shiva's Guard on the Storm. 2000 HP is quite a bit to grind through, but they can do it. Clockwork, looking for a hook shot in. He's gonna catch onto Sioma, put him in a cage, but Roger now has to face up against the Real U. Black Hole gonna be dodged by the Blink Dagger. Shotchlo now gonna be torn apart by the Terrorblade, and will drop very low. G coming in, will be dropped down. Seedoy gets a Chronosphere. It's only onto the Terrorblade though, and the Supernova is a little bit too far away. I think Terrorblade still can't get the Sunder off G. And Afterlife though, gonna try to go for Affinage. Lotus Orb not gonna do enough, as G's just gonna right click him down, now going in towards our Zeke. In the meantime, Afterlife is gonna try to take Seedoy out of the engagement with Yules, with the Impale, just so they can focus down the Phoenix, and they will do just that. G's running dry though. He's gotta get out of here. He'll survive at 20 HP. Silent will get dropped by Seedoy. There's nothing else they can do about that. But that fight for Vega, I think, was just good enough. Did someone just buy back? I think Shadow Fiend just bought back. Yeah, he wants to go for this Aegis. Is there any shrine that G... Are there any shrines left for Vega? No. Oh, no way. Double buybacks and Afterlife. No. No, you can't do this. This is not realistic. This is just not realistic. Hook shot back in. Roger, though, doesn't know it, and Cheese is grabbed by the Knicks. Oh, no. They got their cheese jacked, and now they're jumping with the Shivas onto everyone. After this pop the BKB, Hook is going to jump in onto an illusion. Unfortunately enough, the real you, the buybacks looking for Roger. They're going to pull back the Shadow Fiend, and him and the Clockwork are both going to fall. Now the Faceless Void, he'll die, lose that double life, as Afterlife did consume that cheesy delicacy. They'll impale the Faceless Void. Phoenix is going to try to give him some cover, but it's not enough. He'll get stunned by the Spike Carapace. He'll Icarus dive down to the south, but the Terrorblade is going to give chase with the Hurricane Pike. RZ trying to fly away. That's not going to happen, my friend. It's a triple kill for the real you. The base is still looking really rough here for Vega, but let me tell you, with the 9k lead, with no one being alive of any relevance here from Effect, I think the real you, with this Terrorblade, can just go to work on the throne and win the game right here, right now. Enigma has a black hole, but he cannot kill this many heroes. If he tries, he will just get hooked out of it. And that'll be it. I can't believe Vega are actually able to do that. Oh, they did it. Holy crap, guys. Holy crap. That was an 11k lead. 2 Raxes. 2 sets of racks at 30 minutes. Shasha's gonna jump in, black hole, illusions. The game's already over, so it doesn't even matter. But holy crap, I don't have words. Do you guys know how hard it is to win a game after you lose racks at 20 minutes and then lose a second set of racks soon after? It did seem like, to some extent, Vega, they were actually able to perform the way their draft was supposed to perform. Split them up, get the pickoffs, and Effect where you could see it in every single fight, kind of scrambling for answers. Like BKB would go up on the Shadow Fiend, on the Enigma, and then they would just walk around. They couldn't do anything. The Phoenix was always picked off, and I mean, it's a Phoenix. You can't really do that much to protect yourself up against a Storm, up against a Nyx Assassin. G doing some absolutely miraculous work for the Vega Squadron side, yet despite his impact, gotta say that Afterlife also gave him a run for his money. If we're gonna give him an MVP award here, I think we're gonna have to split it in half. Afterlife and G holding down the fort here as they will 2-0 Effect.